I thought it was October. Brother Robert Bauer, Rocci Stucci, we, dude, I've been doing this shit for, okay, let's just, you know what, let's just break it. Let's go. I've been doing this for a long time. Bauer, been doing this shit for a long time. It just never fails that every time we go live, we have audio issues. I have audio issues. No, Bauer, you've had audio issues.
Oh, yes, I have. I mean, I've gone through, I don't know, I've got half a dozen mics here. I've pretty much settled on this SM7, but I've had to add preamps. I've had to reacousticize the room to get the sound going the way I would like it. And
Is
it's a
that a
constant
word?
tweak.
Is that a word? Reacousticize?
Well, it is now.
I got to bring this back up. So you know what actually happened, Bauer? Because I always have brilliant ideas. We always do this shit last minute because we'll sit there, we'll be thinking of something, and then we'll remember that we have a really cool piece of equipment, and I forgot that I have this DBX compressor, and I really never used it. And because I had audio issues last time with Scotty, I was just like, I'm gonna hook this shit up for Bauer's show tonight. They're super simple to hook up. Really, you just have to know how to set up a compressor, right? And that's really, you got to just kind of have an ear for that stuff. And I thought I was dialed in, bro, until I got on with you. And then, oh no, right before I got on with you. And then I did a last minute, I had a business meeting with myself and did a last minute switch up. And
You're
then
still employed?
with myself.
Yeah, so I was just checking.
Dude, I wrote myself, actually, dude, I got myself on a PIP. I put myself on a PIP. So I got a process improvement performance review. I wrote my
Those
own
are
answer.
important. They're very important. People don't have enough self-reflection and review. And to your point about, you and I, that, what is it, 6 years ago now when we first got on? Yes, indeed, Roger. It was 6 years ago when you asked me to get on your show at that time.
Was
and
it
the next
dude,
thing I know,
was it really that long?
yes, it's 2019.
You're making me feel old, Bauer.
You feel old.
How old are you, bro? You're like 42? This is the end. Yes,
No,
my friend.
last month I turned 68.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
I'm
that
closer to
must make.
70 than
Dude,
I
Scotty,
was
dude,
than I am
Scotty.
60.
I
Yeah.
told you, Scotty, dude, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Bauer's up on you, bro. He's up on you, bro. So stop acting like you're an old man. You're 64. Bauer has 4 years, dude. Bauer had pubic hairs when you were born, bro.
That's right. I had pubic hairs and I had my first mustache.
At 4 years old?
Yeah.
I'm going to Photoshop that now, right? Will you
Oh, I
do me
know.
a favor and send me a baby picture of you at 4 years old?
You bet. I'll DM it.
Will you promise to do that?
Sure, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah,
I
I've got. In
promise.
fact, I've taken some of the AI tools that I've got. I don't know. Right now, there's probably 8 or 9 of them open on the bench here, and I'm just having way too much fun with these things. And image generation and all of that is one of the key things these things do. So I've even got some baby stuff of me rambling on about God knows what.
Dude, you know what's really weird? Is every time I stream to my private page, it's private. It's private.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's conspiracy. So I can't make it public until after the shit's done. So I'm not going to do it. I refuse to give into that game. So I'm going to go to
Well,
Stucci Media and I'm going to share the shit from Stucci Media live right now, broadcasting right here.
Stucci Media is live. There's, the usual crowd is rolled in. There's 2 there now, and that's
Who's
probably
to
about
roll
the
it
peak.
in? Dude, it's from what else would we be doing on a Saturday night? What would we be out somewhere? I mean, come on,
Well,
bro. I mean, there's crazy people in this freaking world, Bauer.
it's a little peoply out there, and sometimes you have to, go leave the castle or the bunker, and you got to cross the moat. You got to get on the road with the other vehicles, the chariots, and now we're sooner or later we're going to end up with some flying vehicles. We've already got drones and all kinds of stuff floating around in the air, and you kind of go, things are getting a little busy outside. It's just a little busy, and the thing that I find very interesting is that the busyness seems to be in a major shift. There's a huge transition going on from clearly what was to what is, and the direction that it's going. And it feels like the people who have been paying attention for the last 2 or 3 decades, like us,
Yeah, bro, totally have.
we're kind of looking at this going, we told you this is what was going on.
Told you, stupids.
We said that this is going to end up not turning out well for anyone. We've said, hey, are you kidding me? Is there anybody with any common sense? Who was in the meeting that approved this, that, or whatever it might be?
I wasn't there.
What was the thinking that went on into coming up with some of these carefully crafted and curated narratives? So.
Okay, hold on. I am literally, I am intentionally doing this.
Yep.
I'm intentionally cutting you off because you just said something. You just said this, and then we're going to go back to what you're saying, brother, and I'm sorry, because this is the one thing that I have that I have to make sure we bring up, and it was the perfect drop. You talked about who's creating the narrative. Okay, so recently, there's his Fuentes guy. I think his name is Fuentes, I can't remember for sure what his name is.
Nick Fuentes.
Okay, so you already know who I'm talking about. He brought forward a story about Tucker Carlson. And I love information, bro. We're conspiracy analysis, right? We need information.
Mm-hmm.
We need data, right? In order to make an intelligent, freaking reasonable. You're right. We need real data, not stupid ass Facebook theories. So his dad and Tucker Carlson. This is where he fucked up, right? This is where he fucked up, is acting like he didn't know his dad was CIA. Because he went on the Candace Owens show. I saw it. So none of this is theory. None of this is speculation. This is what he did. Everybody can go and check it out. He he straight up said, oh my God, my dad died. And then, somebody got a hold of me and said, there's a video out there. Somebody's saying, hey, don't believe Tucker because his dad was CIA. And he's like, oh, and then all of a sudden I found out like my dad was CIA. His dad ran the propaganda department for Reagan. His dad was in charge of propagandizing media, dude. That's what it's all verifiable. So I'm just referring to the information that was brought forward from this Fuentes guy about Tucker Carlson's dad. And then he started talking about in this video, and I have the video. I could probably even screen share it and play it. He starts talking about the relations of different people within different administrations in regards to propaganda, and then you start thinking about shit, right? I've never been a Tucker Carlson fan. I've never been none of those mainstream conservative pundits. They're too Israel for me. You know what I'm saying? And I say that respectfully, but they're too Israel for me. And to me, things are getting way too tribal for me, bro, and it's starting to freak me out. And that's from every aspect of the angle. But when you start looking at people like Tucker Carlson and his dad being who his dad is, and his dad has done what he has done in the CIA. His dad was a big dude in the freaking CIA. So, damn, bro, that opens up a whole bag of shit. If you really wanted to start, I'm not talking about taking their truth for what it is, right? I'm saying that if we want to start theorizing and start investigating this situation with Tucker Carlson and start investigating, researching what I mean, his father and different correlations within government and media and information and distribution and all this shit, dude, that we're dealing with, you start just kind of thinking about that shit from the surface and you're like, holy shit, bro. And then you start thinking about Candace Owens. You start thinking about Levin. You start all of them, bro. You're like, okay, who's who? Now you're going to create this complete paranoid crackhead fucking party of all these QAnon people thinking everybody's an agent. You know what I'm saying? So then there's not going to be any unity, brother. It's going to be complete division within tribes.
Yes.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for letting me get that all out in one breath, man. I feel we can go, let's.
Now, well, and let me toss another perspective at it. I totally get what you're talking about as far as the infighting, the sketchy, the shadowy, the subjective, and whatever is going on with all the different people that are involved, all of their different backgrounds, all of that is just, to me, a part of the play. It's basically two screens, two movies on one screen. And if you look at the people that are involved and you follow the names and all the intrigue and the espionage and the backstabbing and all the bullshit that goes on, that to me is just the stuff to keep all the people amused or engaged or interested, or at a minimum have them focus on that.
Dude, I want to
Instead of
fight
the
John
real-
Rodriguez. Dude, John Rodriguez, I want to fight you right now. I want to fight you, bro, because you call me Mr. Stucci. You're supposed to call me brother, you son of a bitch. You're supposed to call me brother, not Mr. Stucci.
So I think that to me, this is all part of the illusion, part of this is all packaged. It has its own kind of life. It's allowed to kind of go in, and it's like throwing a bunch of nuggets into a bowl and rolling the bowl around and seeing which ones crash. And it's all a part of a narrative that is designed to keep you focused and distracted from the real shit that's going on, which is what I want to talk about, the real shit, because it's easy enough to take those kinds of things that you just talked about and look at it. What does that set of circumstances look like in other places around the world? The
Dude,
whole
I don't
idea of
know,
the
yeah.
tribal thing,
Yeah.
tribal thing
Yeah, let's hear this.
has really, to me, it's an overplay for what's going on. I think it's a natural offshoot of people who have been silenced for so long now being able to express their all of that pent-up silenceness that they've had. I don't see, in fact, one of the things that I find very interesting is when you look at all of the narrative around this person's tied to that, and this is, I mean, that goes, look at Trump and his uncle, John Trump, going back to Tesla. That's a fuck of a lot more interesting to me than this clown show celebrity crap that's going on.
Well, so you're right, and so to validate what you're saying is that there's a lot of things, and I think this is part of the conspiracy, is that there's a lot of emotional plays constantly inundated in our reality that are short-lived. A whole bunch of them nonstop all the time. Compared to like what you're talking about, you're looking at like the long-term conspiracy, the actual agenda behind the propaganda of the dialectic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the key, I think.
Bro, that just flowed out, bro. I didn't even have to think about that shit. That just came right out like that. I'm getting really good at this shit. I don't know what's happening right now.
Well, you see, what happens is when you get the correct stimulus, i.e. you get the right ideas and you get the right questions, then all of a sudden your own curiosity starts to want to look around your field of awareness. And when you look in that field, you find all these little nuggets and different things, and you go, well, what is this? I've never seen this before. Oh, look, it's connected. It has patterns. It has commonalities, similarities. It's pattern recognition, and that's how we function. So the stuff that we're seeing right now that's being played on the screen is all the manufactured stuff, but it's a little different, in my opinion, than it has been. In that what's happening, if you take an objective, neutral perspective of the mechanics and the systems and the processes, the strategy and tactics that are being deployed right now across our entire societal fabric, it's nothing short of master class in business 101, in military knowing how to get your shit done 101, in achieving your black belt. This is what we're witnessing, in my humble, sometimes, but usually not, opinion. What we're seeing is an unfolding of competency, of capability, of, for the most part, a healthy dose of genuine authenticity. I don't think anybody in the circle of Team Trump that are executing all this shit across the board, I don't think any of them are on the north of 50% being nefarious or being a plant. Every time I listen to these people talk, and on these live cabinet meetings, which we've never seen before, every one of them has a capability, a confidence, a competency of whatever their area of domain expertise and responsibility is. And they speak clearly. They speak directly. They speak concisely. And I'm sitting there going, well, wait a minute. This is the kind of shit that I would want if I was given the task of cleaning up the shithole that these idiots on the left and these bizarre mental fornicated ideologies that have caused all this chaos that we are now cleaning up.
So what's your take
Clean
on
up.
this out of curiosity? Quick question. What's your take on the Epstein thing, man? I never really invested a lot into it because you know what? It's bullshit. And even if we got the names, nothing's going to fucking change. And we already know the names, bro. You know, so really, what do we do after we get the names? We're like, I told you so. Nothing is going to change because it's some of the most profound people. Like Bill Gates. How much would his opinion matter to it if he wasn't a billionaire? You know, I mean, how much would we allow him to go stab people in Africa as test guinea pigs, to test his new products out and shit, you know, if he didn't have the money he had?
Yeah, well, so to me, the whole Epstein thing is something that's been known for 2 decades. It's something that's been prosecuted and investigated for 2 decades. All of the things that are clear that people believe without specific evidence, although there is some, probably are true. The consequence of having the people who have been associated with, whether adjacently or in passing or all the way down into the crib and the creep, could cause a significant problem around the world. And I think that problem would come from the various individuals from different countries who are heads of state or in that realm. And I can see where, yeah, morally, ethically, yeah, these people need to pay for their shit. Okay?
Oof.
But
Dude, I almost felt like we're in a kiss or something. Dude, you just came all up on me, bro. Damn, you're on a big screen too. Damn.
I think I might have had a minor erection by mistake.
I mean, are you comfortable with this right now?
Rocky, it's you. I have to be.
I kind of am too.
See that? Yeah, there you go. Squeeze it. So this Epstein thing, I think, yes, I understand the concerns and what people have had and the implications and all that, but on the grand scheme of things, to me, it's like, all right, to me,
yeah,
the stuff that needs to be known,
yeah,
I think is known by the people who need to know it,
okay,
who could act on it legally.
Oh.
And I trust the people that are in those roles now more so than anybody who's ever been in those roles.
I understand
before.
that part. Yeah.
So I'm more interested, like, you know, Putin and Trump having their little tarmac toss. I mean, the implications of that, the stuff that Trump's been doing. Basically, his middle name should be Don the Deal Trump, because all this guy does is run around the world and reset relations by implementing trade instead of terrorism or,
dude, I think I could.
nonsense.
I'm saying at a professional level, I think I could probably take Putin. At a professional level, in a sports arena level type of stuff, right? I think I could probably WWE shit on him. You know what I'm saying, bro?
The Poot's a little beast. You got to be careful. Remember, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
Dude, he has fight, bro. You got to respect your. I don't even know if he's our enemy because this thing is so diluted that most people don't even know really what the fuck's going on. They're just like Russia bad.
And so here's one of the big revelations to me that one of the big revelations that's going on around people and through people to me, and that is this.
Yeah, tell me.
It's clear that since O'Bumble got in, his whole thing, that guy was a fraud from day one.
O'Bumble?
He was manufactured. He was not who he said he was. All of that was a complete installation. It was an insurrection, and it was a coup. And as the more comes out, people are going to realize that what I'm saying is probably closer to the actual facts of reality than what the narrative that they've been told.
Straight 100% coup, bro. 100%. I agree.
It was the last attempt of the ideology that's been powered by the last 400 years of a number of different energies and cycles from the galaxy to the planetary alignments. And that energy that they've been riding has dissipated. It is now waning. The waxing energy that's coming in is starting to take over. And if you think about it, when cycles within energy fields when they cycle through their wave and their cycle of the way that they form, they cross and they integrate and they affect one another. So if you could, the analogy I would use is Ghostbusters. Right now, the energy that the assholes have been riding is on its way out. They've lost their mojo. Their juice is drying up.
Juice.
And they've thrown everything that they've got in whatever corner, nook, and cranny. They have nothing left. They have exposed themselves as being completely corrupt, being nefarious. The signs are everywhere. Pattern recognition. It just easily exposes these things that are going on. The majority of the crap that people thought a year ago was going to happen by now hasn't happened because a lot of it has been caught and mitigated. So there's been as I said, there's been a change in the, what I'm calling, there's a change in the crew. Whoever was running shit for the last 20, 30 years in particular, they're not running it anymore. There's a whole new crew in town. And they have taken immediate, deliberate, specific, and quick action to mitigate a whole host of just complete idiocy, the nefarious, evil nonsense. I mean, you can drag all kinds of shit from any category of the social fabric you want, from the UFOs and the paranormals to, the interdimensionals, the multiverse.
Dude, what the fuck?
You can pull all that in, and it's clear though that something has changed in a way that is so profound that people are still kind of, they got maybe a little RCA dog or a tilt on their backboard or their pinball game.
I think that's all part of everything. With what we were talking about earlier, when we were talking about all the tidbits of the nonsensical drama that constantly keeps coming in. I mean, dude, we literally, when Trump first took office, dude, do you remember all the UFOs? And no government official, nobody knew they were. Well, everybody was coming forward. All these officials were being like, "We have no idea what it is. We have no." And then, like 3.5 weeks later, after 3 weeks of like multiple, I saw one, man. All over the world was the most incredible fucking footage that we've ever fucking seen. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, they were whatever. It was all, yeah, we knew what it was. Yeah, it was all. And it's just like, and then people move on. So it's really hard for me to have any really strong optimism in regards to a future of a nation like this when you have such a complacent, head down society, bro. We talk about what's changed. Shit's really changed. They kept saying the new normal shit, bro. The whole new normal stuff. They weren't joking. They really weren't, because that little thingy thing right here, you know what I'm talking about, bro? Mm-hmm. That thingy, it turned this world into fucking monsters. Legitimate monsters. And those that aren't monsters were bred to be monsters, because look at our streets now. People are super mad that we're locking down DC and Chicago. It's like, if you're super mad about it, go there right now and go walk those streets with your kids and tell me about it, because I come from those places, man, and most people don't even realize what's going on because they're too busy having judgment in the comfort of their nice little fucking house.
Yes, have you noticed that the majority of the people that are making the noise with all the volume and velocity are the ones that are being affected or not being affected from the standpoint of somebody is deciding to speak out on somebody else's victimhood, right?
Well, let me ask you this.
And these people, the only reason that you hear as much of it is because they had control over the system before. The feed right. of information was controlled by the folks who are currently, all of them are either losing their jobs, being sold as news and entertainment assets. Mm-hmm. It's funny, Paramount is being bought by, what's the name of it? Starts with an S.
Dude, you know that our top of our heads are like perfectly at level. I'm really proud of that right now. That's like
how's that going? Right?
That's professional shit, bro. I mean, I could do a crop right now and not have to cut somebody's forehead off.
That's what it was, Skydance. So Paramount is being bought by Skydance. You know who owns Skydance?
No.
Larry Ellison's son.
Who's that?
Larry Ellison?
Yeah.
Oracle?
Oh.
He's the guy was with Trump doing the big announcement of building Stargate down in Texas.
I'm all about that shit, bro, right?
Yeah. So Ellison's big-time conservative. His son clearly is. CBS settled with Trump, and that's the other thing about Trump. All you got to do is look around at what he tries to go work on and fix. If he can't fix it, he monetizes it. If somebody doesn't want to do trade, put a trade deal together, say, all right, we'll send you an invoice. If some school doesn't want to get their shit together, we'll just hold your money back.
Do you think
It's fucking brilliant. I
well,
don't
it
think
is
people are
it is
appreciating what's
brilliant,
going on here.
so it is, and dude, you know, and we've talked about this, and I've said that any acts to go back to what we would deem normalcy would be an act of radicalism because we fell so far off the cliff. But sometimes, you know, and dude, I'm just going to speak open and honest because, you know, I'm an open and honest type of guy. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I know you are, and that's why I've come to expect your tears and wailing.
You and I know, dude, what happens when people try to strong arm us. You know, if somebody came to you or I at a table, okay, so there was a situation in my life, dude, where I was wearing a patch on my back, and we were sat down by a bigger group, and we were given an ultimatum. And it was just the fact that there was an ultimatum given. There was already a guaranteed answer for me because you put me in a position of an ultimatum. You know what I mean? That means you put yourself at a higher level than me to where you thought you had authority over me to have to force me to make a decision out of fear. And so I chose the more dangerous answer, right? And so I think about that also just in human behavior. And so when I think about a lot of this stuff, I'm just saying that before Trump, the United States government and its alphabetical agencies has done a lot of catastrophic fucking damage globally, bro. And we're not fools to that. We've talked about it. We're economic hitmen. We
have now, Rocky, is we're getting all this evidence of that.
Correct. We're getting all the evidence of it. I just sometimes I think because Trump, the thing about Trump is he has ADHD just like us, so he always wants immediate results, like peace deals. This dude's going all over the world, just closing fucking deals, you know, wars, stopping wars, and I mean, he is closing them in one meeting, dude.
Think about this just on that point. I think what's actually going on is he's resetting the global economic system.
I understand
He's
that.
turning everybody into trading partners instead of fighting partners.
But there's some
And
people, though, brother, that
Putin,
when we choke people out to where it starts affecting the civilians of that land, dude, I get kind of weird about that. You know, okay, can I bring one more thing up that's going to be super fucking sensitive, dude? Super sensitive shit.
Drop it in.
All right, so most people that listen to me know my views on the world and where I stand on a lot of things. I'm very vicious in a lot of my views, and I stand strong on them, right? But at the end of the day, I'm a human being, and I want to protect and support good people. Good people. At the end of the day, I don't care what God you pray to, as long as you're a good person. I don't care who you sleep with, as long as you're a good person. I don't care what you do in life. Seriously, I don't get any of my responsibility to worry about you, unless you're a piece of shit and hurting innocent people, right? And that's a lot of what we talk about on this show. But I'm going to bring something up here, bro, and I'm just going to bring it up because it got brought up in a conversation the other night. I have questions in regards and do some tactics when it comes to Israel. And the tribalism of Israel frightens me, dude, like no other tribalism frightens me. We are so deadly tribalistic towards Israel sometimes that they literally are just going around and just fucking shooting missiles in whatever country the fuck they want, dude, and nobody even questions it. I know the in-depths. You know, bro, we have gone in-depth on geopolitics with Israel, with John Ward and Scotty and you. I mean, dude, we have gone at levels that most people haven't. So with that whole roundabout what I just said, I'm not anti-Israel. I have questions in regards to their militaristic actions, right? I'm not religiously bound to them, and I don't fear God. I don't live like Christians live. I live like Jesus would want me to live, not like the Bible wants me to live. But I do question sometimes on the humanitarian of some of the children over on the West Bank, the Palestinian kids, all the stuff that's going on over there on the Strip. There's been some actual real evidence, real video, where some American private security people were just kind of shooting up in the air, and they accidentally hit one of the Palestinian kids, and they thought it was fucking humorous. And dude, it puts me in a place because I've also questioned is that how could the whole world have not seen 7 million Jews get fucking massacred. And then how could the whole world pretend they didn't see it and really react to it and then be super mad about it and then get benefits from that that horrific event? So I'm just super cautious all the time in my assessments of war. And when we're looking at all these different camps and these areas where there's some serious, terrible living conditions because of the war, the terrible shit going on. And I don't like savage people, and I know we have to go after them. And I know that they are incorporated in this war. The civilians are. It's disgusting, but I just want to make sure as a human being, not as an American or a conservative or a this or that, just as a human being, that anybody who don't give a fuck about hatred and is just literally trying to figure out a way to just figure out life, they deserve to live just as much as I do. And I would expect people to fight for my survival, like I would be willing to fight for theirs. And I'm just saying, dude, sometimes I have some concerns in regards to what happens from our team, and nobody gives a fuck, you know?
Well, yeah, and I totally agree with what you're saying. I understand that.
I try to articulate that, and I probably fail because I'm not attacking any culture. I'm not attacking any country.
You were completely neutral. You were agnostic. You were simply expressing how you emotionally feel when you see these circumstances. And I would say, yes, I mean, throughout human history, that the really nasty shit happening because of crazy people is just a part of our history. For the most part, though, I think that on the whole, the innate nature of humanity, of our carbon-based meat collective, is not necessarily altruistic, but we want to always move forward or do more or add to, and our experience is that when we do things that are considered good, when we do those things, then we get more joy, we get more pleasure, we get more happiness. And I think that's the way we naturally, we lean more to that expression than to a nefarious or evil or negative one. The negativity and the amount of that's out there is part of that programming, that carefully crafted and curated narrative. And it covers, it's not just the societal shit. This goes back, I mean, if you look at any of the theologies, the Western theologies, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, there's been more people that have died in the name of their little religion than any time in history. Genghis Khan kind of got close, but he was a whole different animal. But these religions still exist.
Dude, he was a savage. Savage.
And they still are responsible for more chaos, and the harmony doesn't exist. And I think that that's part of what we're seeing. We're in a great reveal. And that reveal is all these things that people were told and sold that are now finding out that were complete bullshit. They were sold shit that they thought was gold, but it's shit. And it's across the board. It doesn't matter. You pick any pillar of societal culture in the fabric, academics, sciences, medicine, the administration of the cultural construct of cities and states and nation countries and all that shit. All of that has been manufactured and bulldozed and manipulated and turned into something that it really isn't, at the behest of the people I was talking about that have been riding that 400-year cycle. It's over. It's done. So part of this great reveal is the realization that information is now not only, I don't know what that was, not only is the information more ubiquitously available than any time in history as far as we know. The internet has liberated knowledge. Artificial intelligence, which is a wrong name for it, all they are expert systems. AI is, and I've got a whole rant if you'd like to hear it. It's called AI Thinker or Linker. It's on my channel. You'll see it as a playlist if you go look at my channel. On
Thinker or Chinker?
Thinker or Linker.
Oh, I'm like, dude, you said Chinker? Oh.
Ticker or liquor, right? How does a Frenchman hold his liquor?
Don't ask me, bro. Don't ask me because I'm not finding any French friends that I have right now. If I have any. I don't even know if I have French friends.
Well, so a Frenchman holds his liquor.
If I do, don't tell me. Where'd you go, bro?
Uh-oh, I'm
There you are.
I'm
There you are.
reconnecting. All right,
Dude.
all right. See, I knew I was going to start, getting down this hole and somebody was going to try to snip it,
Oh.
trying to reconnect.
No, you're here. You're here.
I'm back. All
Yeah,
right.
I see you. I see you.
So,
And for the record,
uh,
dude, for the record, even
yeah,
when you get lost, this is the cool thing about this software is that it keeps downloading. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so the
yep.
stream still goes out good. So, man, good call, bro. Good catch.
So I think that what we're seeing is through this great reveal, people are realizing the information they've been told and sold is bullshit.
Oh,
That nothing can be trusted. Trust has now been broken down. It needs to be reestablished. How do you do that? You build trust by being having a merit-based competency, get shit done kind of model. You look at things rationally and objectively with common sense, and you figure out what works and what doesn't. You then apply initiative with creating a design that people can join in and help develop and deploy. That entire model is what is needed. All the systems that we have, none of them, financials, again, even the government administration of the way that they control and manage the territory they're responsible for and the carbon units that have given them that responsibility. All of that is going to be completely rethunk because none of it can be fixed, none of it can be repaired.
dude, where's Audrey?
It can only be replaced.
Where's Audrey at?
Audrey Bebop?
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that, she hasn't popped in. Here's the thing, though, brother. Here's the thing. I agree. I do. But there again, I don't even know if I even have any optimism left for this, because when you watch the complacency of people already, dude, just the last 5 years have really freaked me out. Okay, people on the Democrat side, right? They don't even realize that they didn't even have a Democratic voice in who they wanted to run for a Democratic nominee for president of this country. They accepted the stupid for what it was. And they literally, within 3 days, within 72 hours, publicly changed the entire identity of Kamala Harris. And people drank the Kool-Aid and sold it. And dude, I didn't know how to react to that. I'm still kind of like, how much more energy do I want to put into debating with these kind of people that are so far out of touch? They're so singular in their fight.
You don't. And here's the thing: the whole concept of having to debate people who clearly have a whole bunch of misinformation and are uninformed and are ignorant, and then with a healthy dose of arrogance. The only way you can get through to those people is to A, not engage, because B, the people who realize that thinking is wrong have already won. All of the thinking is being forced to change. All the people that canceled people are now the ones getting canceled.
They're not ready
All
for
of the media systems that were pumping up the hoaxes and the bullshit, they're going to find out that 9/11 was a scam. Bumble was a scam. The marketing financial crisis was a scam. That COVID was a scam. The 2020 election was a scam. January 6th was a scam. The entire Russia hoax and all that bullshit was a scam.
Everything.
Everything
So
that
what
has
was
been
real?
done in the last 25 years
Think
has
about,
been a
dude,
hoax and fraud.
all the
And
shit.
that's what's being exposed right now.
All the shit that we've talked about, literally, on almost every fucking show for the last 4 years, has all been bullshit. But we should be kind of
6
proud.
years.
6 years. You should be kind of proud. We should be kind of proud of this, dude, because we were
I
calling
am.
this shit out, dude. We were seriously calling this shit out, and everybody still looks at us like we're fucking conspiracy theorists with evidence.
Dude, I made a shirt on my merch shop. It says, vindicated, validated, victorious. Because everything that we have been yammering on about, diving into, trying to sort through, trying to figure out, has now turning out to be not only 100% spot on, but it was prescient. It was something where we saw what was going on and we said, hey, if you keep going this way, this is not going to end up well. Oh, no, you know what you're talking about. You're this, that. I love the whole tinfoil hat thing. It's like, hey, I have been and I are. Um, exactly right, Mary. And the thing is that the whole concept of having accountability, responsibility, um, having initiative, wanting to achieve things, wanting to do things well, wanting to excel, wanting to create. To me, there's three key things, and I understand that you've lost some faith in humanity because of the bullshit we've seen. But brother, I'm here to tell you, it's not only the golden age, it is the rebirth of humanity that's about to happen.
I don't think okay, I'm disappointed, right? I don't say I lost faith. Um, what I'm going through is the process of accepting the world for what it really is.
Hmm.
And that's a big acceptance because I enjoyed dancing in that lie for a long time. But that lie ruins fucking lives. And bro, I'll be honest with you, man, after everything I've been through when getting sick, and these same corporations, they have that fucking right to put people on the street like that. There's so many people that have reached out to me, dude, dude, I am one of millions of people that are victims of this shit. So why is it the working class all the time in this country, when they lose everything, they don't qualify for shit? But yet we constantly have to fucking hear how we need to take care of the fucking world, or make sure we're taking care of illegals, or making sure we're taking care of people that don't want to get up off their ass but have the capability of doing it. We need to make sure that everybody at Walmart has full fucking carts full of fucking food, while we have to open up our calculators and go to the store and make sure we get our $30 worth, and make sure we get enough rice and potatoes to get us through the fucking week. Why is it the working class in this country, the one that it pays for the rest of the world, is the one that ultimately has to sacrifices? Even when they lose everything, they can't get the help because they made too much fucking money. I got a problem with that, and we were sold a lot of Kool-Aid to fight for this system, dude. We vote for this system, we politically debated for this system, and it's the same system that turned its back on the same people that fucking built it, bro. So that's my problem, and I'm tired of pretending that it doesn't exist.
Well, again, I completely understand and see your perspective. I would offer this. The change that's occurred has only happened 12 months ago is when it got started. The last 6 months is the first salvos of, look out, we're coming in and getting shit that's fucked up out, and we're fixing stuff, and we're taking things out that are redundant or unnecessary, or just a result of the clogged, corrupted crap
Dude,
that's been
all that was so
building
offensive
up
to
over
me.
decades.
It was so offensive to me when they were exposing all that, because it was just like all the amount of people that I know that have to bust their fucking ass just to be broke, to have nothing, to lose sleep at night figuring out how they're going to make the change the next day to get those bills paid.
Right.
And we hear these fucking corporations, dude. I mean, dude, we're talking, they put themselves on lavish vacations, company cars of like Lamborghinis, and the misspending overseas, and the misspending in Ukraine. It's just like these people are living this lifestyle, dude, of luxury and boats and caviar, while the same people that are paying for it are sitting here saying like, holy fuck, I'm so humiliated as a man, you know?
Well, think about some of the influences that have caused a lot of this chaos in the craniums of the carbon units.
Damn.
Think about, for example, this whole, remember
The craniums of the
affirmative
carbon
action.
units, bro. The craniums of the carbon units, bro. Sometimes the shit just
Yeah,
needs to settle in for a second, you know?
yeah. Think about affirmative action. The intention of that was noble. The implementation of it was complete shit. Think about the Department of Education, which was an executive order by Jimmy Carter back in the late 70s, right? Noble intent, complete failure of execution, and a cesspool of corruption.
Yep.
And as a result, what they were supposedly responsible for, i.e., educating our children, turned into be schooling them in what to think, not how to think. productive carbon units in the last generation, and I've said this before, sometimes, you just have to take your licks. There's going to be collateral damage, shrapnel, and everything else laying around, but you just got to do it. Otherwise, everybody's going to end up as collateral damage. So you have to take your losses. You have to realize not everybody's going to make it. Not everybody's time. You try to save those that you can, and you're there for those that are near and dear to you, and you do what you can. But even them, you can't save all of them. You can't even save yourself.
Fact.
So when you have an empathetic reaction to suffering by people who have been they've been made victims of somebody else's evil intent, you have to do what you can, but you can't let it control the way that you continue to move forward.
It did for a while. It did for a while, bro. It did. The anger.
You're going to end up spiraling right into where they want you to go.
Now, you and I talked about this.
They want you to focus on the victims and the victor, all of that.
Yeah, and I think you and I may have talked about this in the past, where it might have been you and I think it was you and me, where we talked about empathy and that sometimes empathy can be toxic as fuck. Right. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can so over empathize,
and it's easily manipulated.
Yes, that's it. Because you become so empathetic because somebody else's pain, right? And they're going through a really bad time, and it's because of that company or that rich man. So right away you hate every rich man, or that empathy for that individual makes you hate the entire population of that thing that caused that pain for that person. And we're seeing a lot of that today, bro.
And what's really fascinating is that if people looked at what they have generated that empathy and that emotion into that empathy is about, they'd realize that it's complete bullshit. The people that are spending all of this energy focusing on this, I'm empathetic, I'm sympathetic, I'm trying to champion these victims, the 99, I would say 90 at a minimum, it could be 99% of it is bullshit. These people have zero reflection or self-examination. They do not vet what it is that they're putting all their emotional energy into. They're letting these parasitic thought worms infect the cranium, and it's eating whatever capability to process anything cogently and with common sense. It's eating that away. So what do? They spin out of control and become these mindless zombie robots that are simply the herd that's been assembled to go fuck with the rest of the people who don't want to be fucked with, who don't agree with what you're being fucked with about, and just want to be left alone. In fact, not only do we want to be left alone, we want you guys to take that shit and take it fucking somewhere else. Damn. We'll get you an island, we'll get you a camp, we'll fence off something. You guys can go in there and you can have at it, and you can do all the crazy ass shit that doesn't work with the rest of the population. We will fund that. In fact, we'll do a GoFundMe, and you will see that explode into the billions, and somebody is going to build a city. It's going to be asshole city, and you get a free ticket. You claim yourself to be an asshole, you got free entrance.
Hey, speaking of free tickets, bro. By the way, bro,
you said that out.
Three F-bombs, dude, in one sentence, bro. You said 3 F-bombs in one sentence. I'm really fucking proud of you right now. I really am.
I did. I'm sorry, I didn't.
I felt good. No, don't, bro. Look at. I'm telling you, bro. Look at you. Knocked the D off my Adidas, bro.
See,
that's one thing. When people talk about alligator Alcatraz, and they're so worried about the fucking conditions. I mean, have they? This is the part, dude. It's like, okay, if they even understood what other kind of prisons we have in this country and the conditions of those prisons and what happens in those prisons and the deaths that happen and the violence and the racism and the cultural divide, but all of a sudden they care about alligator Alcatraz. And for the record, any immigrant that gets detained and gets sent to alligator Alcatraz has an option before they even get in, that they will get a plane ticket and they will get cash and they will be flown to wherever they want back home with money on us to make sure they get home safely and reestablished and don't have to stay in alligator Alcatraz.
They
I
just
want to make sure that people understand that part of the equation.
And they just dropped, DeSantis just dropped a new one. They're going to roll out Deportation Depot. It's the next one coming in.
So those are all trigger words. So as marketing people, we get exactly what they're doing. It's the trigger effect. Okay, what is it called, bro?
Deportation Depot.
Deportation Depot. And you know the media is gonna be so triggered by that shit, bro.
Good, let them.
That's the point.
You know, and
That's
and
the
here's
point. Yep.
here's the part of the tipping point that I think is important. Prior to the entire fiasco, from not only the bumbling Burden dropping dead on stage, to
Damn.
Trump getting clipped,
Wait, who's bumbling Burden?
Biden.
Okay, I knew that, bro.
I call
Sorry.
Biden Burden.
I knew that, dude. I knew.
Bumble and Burden and
Oh, bumble
Hillary
Burden.
and all
Ooh.
that whole crowd. All those people are
Oh,
about
that's
to get
a
their
conversation.
due.
Yep.
But what's happened is there's been a significant shift of energy. People are just completely different. Those of us that were, canceled, sequestered, blacklisted, shut off, shut down, whatever. If you notice how all the people, and this includes going back to your mentioning Carlson, Tucker
I think we're
Carlson,
kind of heroes, bro. I mean, if you really want to.
all of those people that were canceled are now running the roost. Everybody who was denied, even Trump, who was canceled off of fucking X, created his own. Now he's back on that, and he's got everybody paying him money, CBS, ABC, for all kinds of slander and bullshit, proving that they're wrong, proving they've been incorrect. Well, nobody's listening to the, well, not nobody, just the dwindling few. The ratings on all of the previous legacy media is in the toilet and just continuing to head south. The whole point I was making about Skydance buying Paramount is that here's another conservative. Bezos is talking about buying CNBC, because all of these assets that used to be held in these high regards and be the trusted source of information have been proven to be not trustworthy at all.
I got a question.
So, yeah.
Macron from France, right? So
Sounds like you're trying to hawk a loogie.
yeah, so Macron or whatever his name is. So apparently, it's speculation. It has been proven. So what's that word you're supposed to use when you're, allegedly? His old lady, his girl, his wife is a dude.
Candace has been blowing the flames on that
dude.
fire. Yeah.
Yep. So here's my question, man. And so again, this is an attack with a chick with the penis. It has to do with trust. And I thought the same thing about Michelle Obama, because we have entertained and had fun with conversations about it. Oh, for
Mike.
years, dude. Yes.
Big Mike.
For years, but dude, I've seen shit dangle, dude. That's all I'm saying. And once you see the dangle wangle, bro, it's kind of hard to unsee that shit. And I need to hear what reasoning that was, right? What would be there? So my question is about trust, and so I don't know how really the election's going, but I thought about it here, and if Michael came out and says, "Hey, I'm actually Michael and not Michelle," I know there would be, of course, a percentage of people that would accept it, but my thing is, it has nothing to do with the transgenderism, the gayness, the whatever you want to call it. It has to do with you lied to an entire base from the get-go. From the get-go. So that means you were distrustful since you opened your big, fat, stupid mouth, right? And I think that's kind of the same. Like, how would the French, because French people, that's one thing I will give them credit for, man. They have revolutions, dude. And they kind of cycle that shit. They kind of tend to let the governments know that we'll burn shit up. But they're running out of French people, right? They're getting more Africans now. So that will probably dwindle out. They'll have a whole new monster that they're going to have to deal with here in the future. But what's your thoughts on that, dude? Do you think that people would take it negative? Do you think media would take it negative? Do you think media would attack it? Or do you think media would come up with a way to be like, it's so beautiful?
I think by the time,
Brave.
and that means, through the next 6 to 12 months, by the time that comes out, the media is going to be basically rendered useless. The credibility. So my point being is that if that information came out, and to your point about, well, you lied, so now you have to, there's got to be some kind of recompense, right? You've got to have some reparation. You've got to have, which is one of their favorite words.
Dude,
You
is
got to
that
have,
true? Wait, so
at a minimum, what's that?
is that true? So Macron's wife used to be
Yeah.
his teacher?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
he is. She's like 25 years older than him, or something.
you know,
like
we
that.
go to the movies to watch this kind of creepy shit, dude. This shit is real.
Dude, I used to read about it in Playboy back in the 70s. My dad
Read
used
about
to
what?
get some
What'd
of
you
these
read about?
stories. Something story that kind of reminded me of that, but I can't remember much because I was.
I seen you
probably
grinning when you said it. I wanted to know what you were thinking about,
I was
bro.
probably just trying to get to the next picture, next page. Um, so as far as Macron and that whole story, when you look at the data that's available, it's very compelling. It's a very interesting story of rabbit holes that are, there's pieces of data and here
The
and
what
there,
thing?
evidence here
The
and
what
there.
thing? What thing are you
The
talking about?
The Macron thing.
Oh, bro.
That whole Macron, I mean, she was his teacher. He fell in love with her. In fact, there's some story about he told his parents or her parents that when he was the student that he was in love with her, and they reportedly said, he'll grow out of it. Don't worry about it.
Dude,
Well,
would you, okay, we just talked about this recently in my home. I'm sexist as hell when it comes to this conversation, because if my boys came home and they've been like, hey, Dad, me and my math teacher, we hit it, I'll be like, okay, you shouldn't do that, but good, cool. But if my daughter came home and said, hey, Dad, my social teacher just banged me in the backseat of a car, I mean, dude, it'd be a whole holy war. You know what I'm saying, dude?
yes. It would be
And
the
most
last
men,
thing that he did.
most men are very hypocritical at that standard, right? It's because we value women much more than we value ourselves. I think that's a good thing, right? I think it's a good thing, kind of.
Yeah.
No, okay.
So to the point of whatever it was that we were talking about,
Can't remember.
had something to do
Macron.
with the Macron thing. So Macron, I find it really interesting. I really don't give a fuck.
Wait a minute.
I
Wait a
don't
minute.
care.
Did she poop them out? I mean, or were they adopted? Are they like her biological children? Do you
I
remember
don't know
Candace
about-
talking about this? I don't remember.
I haven't paid that much attention because I really don't care about it.
I don't
And to
either,
me,
but for some
it-
reason,
it's-
part of me follows it.
Yeah, I to me, those are nuggets that they throw along the trail to distract you. And, it's basically the majority of the stuff that comes out of the mainstream, lamestream, legacy, mockingbird media.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically as full of nuts as a squirrel turd.
Bro, that's a lot of nuts, bro. I literally visualize that shit. It looks like a salty nut bar. You know what I'm saying?
Right? Yeah, it's one of those, with the caramel thing going on.
Those are great. Until now. And now I'm going to be thinking I'm eating squirrel shit.
So the nuttiness that has overtaken the people that have, for whatever reason, not done any vetting. I've got an update to Reagan's famous term, trust but verify. Well, mine is now vet and verify.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't trust anybody. I don't trust any institution. I don't trust any
Right.
scientist. I don't trust any numbers, reports, statistics, studies, meta this, class action that. I don't believe any of it until I have some kind of dive into it myself that I can personally feel comfortable with vetting and verifying the information.
So you were talking about earlier about the age we're in of technology and how we have all this, access to information. And so my biggest concern is that I would have, if we had access to all the information like we do, that you and I utilize, and many of us that are watching utilize, why does it seem like people are less educated? Because, dude, I see people posting memes, political memes, as truth. Different things on social media as truth. And I think it's dangerous, right? And they get super mad at me when I'm like, bro, you might want to fact check that shit. I'm just trying to help you out. They get all mad. But it literally, with all the AI programs that we have now, we can literally upload a picture and be like, validate. So all you need to put in there is a prompt, validate. And it'll tell you the information if it's true or not. And whether you want to believe the beast, because the information has to be consistent from somewhere, right? So we have a source, and that source dictates whether we breathe or get suffocated in that arena of existence. So you kind of have to play that source's game if you want to continue to breathe in that arena, I guess. Like
Well,
with my articles, bro, I got to be super careful on how I write articles because Daddy is ready to shut it down at any given time when I talk about anything controversial.
and yes, and that is something that we certainly need to keep an eye on now, but less so going forward. The whole, all of the censorship of ideas and words, like me dropping the 3 F-bombs, and I'm
That's
surprised
beautiful.
that I'm surprised that you even caught that. I thought you were
Oh
just,
no, dude! It like it touched me, bro. Like I almost felt like we had a relationship.
yeah, well, there was, yeah, I felt it too. Um, but the point is that the information that people have been using to communicate about whatever the subject is, about whatever the narrative is, has been highly crafted and curated, and it's been weaponized. And that weaponization has been very effective. I'll give them an A plus for at least design. Unfortunately, these people don't have this concept of having a market, having customers, having clients, having people who want your stuff. Their model is you don't have to want it. We're forcing you to take it. We're forcing you to think this way, say this, use these words, treat people like this. You must do these things. And there's
Do you
this going back to the emotive thing.
yeah.
There's this high degree of energy shoved into the emotive category, and they are driving that son of a bitch right over you if you don't comply and or jump on. At a minimum, you got to get out of the way. But that is what was. What's happening now is people aren't putting up with that shit anymore.
Right.
I, for example, I am usually not reserved. You know me. I tend to speak up even when I haven't been spoken to. But I was holding back on delivering the proverbial bitch slap among people who are seriously, look, why haven't you been hit in the head with a shovel?
At least a shovel,
How,
minimum. At
how
minimum.
can you
I mean, I'm thinking dump trucks and shit, but we're
how
gonna
can you
start with the
be
shovel.
this fucking dense? There must be a clog in your cranium. And the only thing that's going to shake it loose is a bitch slap or a shovel upside the head. And as much as you want to do that because you feel that it's the only way to change it, you have to observe it, acknowledge it, do whatever you can without getting yourself too involved, and be as true and empathetic in your intent at doing that as possible. But then you got to move on to the next one, because there are more squirrel turds out there now than there ever have been. The nuts are everywhere.
Salt and nut rolls.
The
It's
squirrel
the
nut
salt and nut roll
rolls.
effect, man. We got squirrel nuts everywhere. Wait,
And they're
wait.
leading to squirrel turds, which are nothing but the nuttiest thing you can get.
With cream inside.
Thank you for that. All right. So, I think we're actually again, we've turned the corner. There's a ginormous U-turn that has occurred, and we are the benefactors of that. Those in particular who have been on this path, writing the scrolls, screaming at the top of our lungs, finally saying, you know what? We're not going to say too much anymore because it's clearly going to fall apart on its own. However, we will be here as it collapses, and that finger wagging is going to be earned. We're going to be going, didn't we told you? We told you, and look, here it is. We
Yeah.
told you back then, look
Lick
now,
it.
here it is.
Lick
You
it.
see this? That's right. Do you know where this finger has been? You're going to be surprised.
Oh my God, dude, that's crazy.
So that to me is what we're seeing happen, and like I said when I made that shirt,
So the gummy,
validated.
just so you know, bro, that's what happened.
Yeah,
The gummy just kicked in. I took it when we
gummy
started.
kicked us.
It took an hour and fucking damn, yeah, an hour. That's about right, I guess.
I've got a trying to reconnect sitting on here. I'm going to refresh if
No,
I.
you're good. You're good. Don't do nothing.
Well, it's happening on my side. Do you see
Oh
it?
no, you're good over
So
here.
I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. If I
Oh yeah, you should be able to
leave,
do
I'll
that,
come back.
bro. Yeah, you go,
Yeah,
bro. All right.
stand by.
Go ahead, go do what you got to do. So it is Saturday night, the emotional meeple, Rocci Stucci, chilling out with brother Robert Bower, where we're getting silly physical. What's up, Sue? What's going on, girl? What's up, Mary? Mary's always coming in, dropping shit. This triggered my man, my face. Bauer just went over. Now I look all weird. Now I feel like I got to sit up. I usually don't use this software, but I actually kind of like it, just because it's simple. You know what I'm talking about. So, you know what, Bauer, better hurry up. Otherwise, I'm going to go get one of my bonsai trees and do a little bonsai demonstration. That's what I've been doing. Somebody say something. I feel like somebody needs to say something, please. Yeah, we got some, did you see the big protest? So England, you know, like Amsterdam, you guys can Google this, Amsterdam, and I think like some of the countries around Amsterdam, they're in a position right now where actually the majority of their population are immigrants, not civilians. And so that's all from all the shit that's happened, like with the Syrian immigration crisis and African immigration crisis, and all the shit we talked about when we were in the sit room. We talked about all of it. We've talked about all of it. So you know what? Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. It's stupid. It's stupid. And you see things, and and you just don't get mad anymore because nothing's going to change. I know it's kind of a bad attitude. It kind of is, right? But you just know nothing's going to change. It's just not. It's they just want us to get mad. We're going to get mad. We're going to complain. We're going to bitch. We're going to we'll pull shit. We'll go get in arguments with people on social media, but nothing is going to change. They'll do a couple feel-good articles. They'll do a couple feel-good videos, and everybody will think it changed. And then we go into the next crisis. So my reality has changed, and in a lot of ways, it sounds kind of weird, and I get mad at myself for having to say this shit sometimes. But in a lot of ways, the shit I've gone through the last couple of years, I'm kind of glad I did. Because if I didn't go through that bullshit, I would have never seen these things for what they truly are. And now the things that I'm doing, the things that we're building, the things that we're creating, we're going into it with a whole different set of eyes, a whole different mentality, and a whole different defensive mechanism. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that we learn, even though we get angry at the realism of our existence, is that our acceptance of it will be the empowerment of it for it to continue to move forward. There has to be people, and this is why even some of my friends that I disagree with, that are very rational, intelligent people, that they have different views on existence. And they're very vocal about their views, and I think that's a beautiful thing. That's how it's supposed to be, right? There's a system for that. They're not going and burning people's shit up, and they're not going and disrupting innocent people or children or endangering people's lives or blocking traffic. They're doing it the way it should be done, and they're actually being part of the change that they want, right? I think that's step number one. Just unfortunately, man, we're just surrounded by too many people that just talk shit, I guess. Mary says, I don't get mad. I just get more beans and rice and stay in my lane. Beans and rice actually kind of sound good right now. You know what I'm saying? They kind of sound good right now. I don't know. Oh, there he is. Oh, shoot. Dude, I completely forgot. Absolutely forgot that I had to hit in. What's going on here? Where are you at, bro? Bauer's having some computer. There he is.
Am I there? Can I
Yep.
see me? There you are. All right.
So you good?
I don't know what was going on there, but I'm sure you filled the dead airspace.
No, dude. Dude, I was a little uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I was a little uncomfortable. I was not psychologically prepared, and I started talking about bonsai trees and gay whales.
Well, I'm glad I missed that, I guess.
Dude, I didn't even know whales could get erections. Have you ever seen one?
They have the biggest phallic device among the mammalians, is my understanding.
Didn't even know that, bro.
And it's something like 200 gallons of semen per ejaculation.
What?
You're thinking about it, aren't you?
I'm visualizing it, and it's very disturbing to me right now because it's like that's a lot of liquid to visualize, and I don't really know to visualize the source. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like a fire hose.
Well, yeah, it would be more like one of those concrete dump mix, where they have the big hose that just pours the concrete out.
Dude, did you know that Mary was a like a second or third degree black belt?
Mary
Mansfield
in the chat?
Yeah, and dude, I was
didn't.
I was bullshitting with her one time, and I said that you did some kind of like something, and I said it was like an Asian word. I couldn't remember what it was, and she straight up said, dude, she would whoop your shit, bro. I ain't trying to start shit. I'm just saying she would. She said she would smoke you just like that. Didn't even hesitate. I was kind of offended.
Well, back to the whole point of what the hell are we talking about? Why is there so much chaos and confusion and shit? I think it's exactly what's supposed to be going on, and I think that it's going to be a little bit more painful. And I said this a year ago. I'm going to do a Geezer Geek recap from our predictions from last year, coming up at the end of the month. And we called what we said where we'd be a year from now. And what will the economy be? Will Trump be the president? What will be going on with all of the geopolitical bullshit? Will we get UFOs? Will we get any of the stuff that we've been so patiently waiting for?
UFOs is the one I want, and Bigfoot. I'm sick of the Bigfoot shit, dude. I either need to see something or I'm done with him. I'm done with the Bigfoot game because this is too much. We're way too advanced now with technology not to have real. I'm sick of the blurry videos and the videos from 8 mountains away. You know what I'm saying?
I love the whole narrative of it. They're interdimensional beings and they just kind of pop in and out, at their desire. And I'm like, okay. And the same thing with the cryptids and the paranormal and the UFOs, UAPs, and EIEIOs. All of it is, they're all having some kind of crisis, or they're at a minimum among their communities. They're fighting.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that? What Rapid Dog just said. Rapid Dog said that it's the age of Aquarius or Aquaries.
Correct.
Okay. Let's get a little Jeff Harmon here. Let's.
All right.
So it's,
All right, we can do that.
So astrologically, brother, where are we? Where are we right now? Are we in bad shape?
So, the easiest way to position the overall astrological situation is this one thing. Pluto, our farthest planet, takes 250 years to make its rotation around the sun because it's way out there. Pluto, the last time it was where it was 250 years ago was 1776.
Shit.
Pluto back then, I think, was in the constellation of, I want to say Pisces, but it might be Capricorn.
This is the fight.
This time, Pluto is in the constellation of Aquarius.
Transition stage? I don't know what that means. I don't understand this. Yeah, dude, we are, bro. Yeah, we are.
That's exactly right. That's what I was talking about.
Right, bro.
We're like remember I don't think I finished the analogy of the Ghostbusters.
No, finish it.
They're out there trying to take out the ghost, the plasmoid or whatever it was. The thing was, don't cross the stream.
Right.
Well, I think we are underneath the crossing of the energy stream, the event stream and the frequencies of the rising, ascending, and the dissipating, waning.
I would never want to be under anybody's P stream.
We are under the stream. And
I don't want to be under somebody's P stream.
Well, the thing is that we are privileged. I think, nay, we are not only privileged, we requested to be here at this time.
So are the
for
UFOs
this transition?
What is this big? What's a big fucking UFO that's heading towards Earth? Or this big? It's not.
Three-eye Atlas.
Is that what that is, bro? You already know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Three-eye Atlas.
It's supposed to be here like next year or something. It's supposed to be like.
No,
something.
It's supposed to be on the opposite side of the sun and behind the moon, according to the current trajectory, at the end of October, beginning of November this year.
I think that I'm going to start swinging, dude. I don't even give a shit anymore. If we get invaded, dude, let's go. Let's go. I'm done worrying about shit.
My perspective at the moment is that unless there's a noticeable, demonstrable, undeniable tracking of the course that changes suddenly or abnormally, this is just another rock coming in, and it's going to make, we're finding more because we're paying attention more. We have telemetry to see these things better. But the thing that is puzzling me is that we see from the what they've gotten with the telescopes, you see this thing, it's a big fucking giant white ball moving across the cosmos. And you go, well, that looks kind of like maybe a kind of big old meteor or rocket or something. And if it is indeed some kind of rocket, it seems odd to me that whoever has that kind of capability and technology would be using that kind of a propulsion and show up and have to travel that way.
Have you ever heard of any aliens having physical strength? I've never hear conversations about like people getting in, like like, wow, man, the thing grabbed me and it knocked me to the ground. And only thing I've ever really heard of was like telepathy type of shit, but no physical strength, like they'll whip my ass type of stuff. Because that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's pretty consistent with what I've heard as well. I haven't. There doesn't seem to be the physicality of the alien encounters. Only seems to be related to them doing whatever kind of cool probing with some kind of new toys they just came up with to see what they can get out of the carbon meat suits.
I'm just to the point where I don't even care. They grab me, dude. I'll just be like, let's use lube, man. I'm whatever.
Well, I think if aliens came down to get me, it would be classified as a rescue mission.
Really? It would be. I would say that they're already here, though. I mean, wouldn't you kind of agree with that?
Well, they're here. They've been here, and there's at least a half a dozen of them, if not more.
I don't. Okay. I want to go back to give myself. There's a lizard on the wall. I'm okay though. I'm all right. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be all right. It's about a inch and a half long, but to me it looks 9 feet. The seeding theory, dude. I'm sorry, man. It's just becoming more and more real that we're seeded here. That's just where I'm at.
There's no doubt. I don't know if it was seeded as much as it was, from a random, panspermia kind of thing.
Do they have any?
We've got all these genetic constructs for biological life that'll work well on this planet. Let's take a bunch of those seeds and throw it on there and come back in a bit and see how they do.
So you think we came here in a different form and then evolved into this? I think we were just straight up put here as the species we are right now. We can't remember because that's all been like Men in Black type of shit. I mean, we don't remember that part of history.
So my thinking and perspective is that we are both.
Okay.
I think that if there is some kind of cosmic order and code to biological expressions in the material, which is what we are, then it could be just a natural evolution of the event stream unfolding. It's just that's the nature, the habit, the characteristics, the behavior of it. It just unfolds that way.
All the asteroids that killed all the dinosaurs?
Mm-hmm.
My theory, bro?
Yeah.
Alien missiles. They needed to clear the path, bro, so we can survive because there's too much big shit on the planet that would eat our asses. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I think you might be onto something there, because if you think about it, there are random, questionable pieces of evidence of dinosaur and humanoid footprints in the same mud, right?
There's a place north of my house in Texas that had them right next to each other. There's a park that had the footprints, bro.
And I do think that period of time, the biological manifestation was certainly a separate experiment. We're going to throw these big creatures from planet Zoran and put them on here and see what they do. Well, look how big they got, because they got all this vegetation. The gravity is less, so they're able to grow more. that was only them. And what happened? Why was that? What caused that period? Where
Right.
did that mammalian biological stuff come from? Was it a natural evolution again from the standpoint of that's just the way reality unfolds? That's its nature, its habit. Do you ever notice how the majority, if not all, of the alien species that people bring up, Dracos, reptilians, fucking Pleiadians, Archons, I mean, you notice how they all have humanoid constructs? They've all got a
Or,
head, a body,
or we
arms,
have their
legs,
construct,
right?
or we have their
Well,
construct.
what I'm suggesting is that the hominid or humanoid construct
All right.
is also a natural habit and expression of the way reality unfolds. So, and to me, it would make sense, and that's why I call them our cosmic cousins. We may not be genetically matched, but there is a regular expression of these biological meat suits, whether they're carbon, silica, God knows what else, that expresses itself in a torso, head, arm, leg
Mhm.
motif. Even the reptilians had fucking head and legs and shit, arms. So you go,
I
all
think a
right, well,
reptilian could probably take me, bro. But I think I'd give it a good fight, though. You know what I'm saying? Because they're supposed to be like 10 feet tall lizards and shit. You know, they got tails.
yeah,
I don't have
just
a
go
tail.
down and go have a round with a mongoose down in Cambodia. I
Dude,
think
we
it is.
got we got eight.
Tackle one of them.
We go down to Miami here. In fact, we're going to be going here in a couple of weeks. So they have 8 foot long from tail tip to nose tip. 8 foot long iguanas. Or wait, is that what they are? Iguanas? Yeah.
Alligators.
No, iguanas, dude. Lizards, size of fucking dogs, dude. They're
That's a big
huge.
no thanks.
Yeah, so you go to restaurants and there's 4-footers in the parking lot. I went to one restaurant one time, dude, and there's like 9 of them just running around the fucking parking lot. It freaked, dude. It was like watching Godzilla and his fucking babies to me. I'd never seen that shit before. You know, this was all new to me when I first came to Florida. I'm not used to this, you know, like alligators and snakes that are fucking 20 feet long, and all the different types. There's wild monkeys here, bro. Wild monkeys. Like, seriously, wild monkeys. Didn't know that. Had no idea. 51 years old. United States citizen my whole life. Pretty educated. Didn't know there's fucking monkeys in Florida.
But there's a lot of monkeying around going on down there.
Dude, there's so much when you the lifestyle on. This is another thing. You know, I'm observation. There is so much drugs, homelessness, anywhere where there's beaches, because it's a comfortable lifestyle. There's tourism, and so with that type of homelessness comes like very aggressive type of thievery. You know, because they're meth addicts, right? They're not heroin addicts, they're meth addicts. There's a big difference. One has energy, one passes out. And so these people are around here, dude, does fucking tweaking. I mean, tweak a geek, bro. So, you know, when we go to the beach or go to the fishing piers, I show my boys, you know, because they work in units. So they have scouts. And what these scouts are doing, they usually pick like an older woman or an older male, looks innocent, doesn't look as homeless, maybe a little dirty, and they'll put them on somewhere where a lot of people walk by some kind of boardwalk or something, or, you know, pier walk. And they're the ones that are actually doing the evaluation of the people walking by. They're doing the analyzing of the individuals. And then if they see a vulnerable person or they think is vulnerable, then they'll cue somebody, and then it's like either a pickpocket would come in, or somebody who is aggressive on asking for stuff, or intimidating looking. It's different. It's different. So it's new to me, and so I'm experiencing it all for the first time, and it's cool because we go to certain areas and you meet people from all around the world, because we go to Tarpon Springs a lot, and apparently that's a huge tourism town. A lot of people from and a very old Greek town, dude. It was all Greek. There was some mafia shit that went down there and all that shit. But so when we go to Tarpon Springs to go fishing, we always have these people from all over the country that walk, and we talk with them. You know, at first it bothered me because it's just like I've been angry the last year, right? So I haven't been my social self like I've always have been, to where I always socialize with people, and that's all slowly coming back, and especially fishing, because no, I found pleasure in that, because you're meeting people from Greece, from Italy, from China, I mean, from all over the world that are just good people, right? They're just normal human beings, all political bullshit aside. It's just human to human interaction next to an ocean, just enjoying a conversation. And that's the hope that, and those are the interactions that people need to have, and eliminate some of those interactions on social media, because that starts bringing back faith in the human species. Because if we don't have those real conversations, brother, then we're going to start thinking that fucking Facebook is real, you know?
Yeah, it's a challenge being able to keep track of and use effectively the information access that everybody has. Just because it's there doesn't mean you need to access it.
Do you trust Elon Musk?
Just be, I would say that I support what he has been doing, literally across all of his businesses. The guy is a fucking genius.
Because you know it, bro,
He is
and
killing
you,
it on. He's killing everything that he touches.
yeah.
Ends up being some serious shit.
Well, here's where I'm going with that, because so I write every single day, right, for Stucci Media. And so I'm constantly pulling up information. I'm constantly doing research. And then I also do all the reels. I created the TikTok. Everybody get over there and make sure you subscribe. The Daily Mojo. I do all the reels for them guys on their TikTok page. Some of the reels that I put together for them, like I was doing some reels for them for the Oklahoma bombing. And so I was literally just asking for a description. You know, I'll give it you know, you got your prompts, and you just help me with the description, you know, that's TikTok friendly and shit.
Yep.
And it wouldn't do it. It wouldn't do it because it was too controversial, conspiratorial, and then it gave me some.
What tool were you using?
So that was Gemini. That was Gemini. Gemini wouldn't give me the response, dude. Honest to fucking God.
I haven't seen that with Gemini. I would have thought that you might have got that from ChatGPT, but
I don't use ChatGPT.
I don't either. Have you tried Grok?
Oh yeah, I use Grok a lot, but that was why I was asking you, because Grok is one of my sources. And so there's a difference on the amount of information that I can get, whether it's coming, because even though I'm using Gemini or whoever, you know, a lot of this information is still coming from the same fucking monster. You know what I'm saying, dude? They're all, that spider web continues to get down to a singular fucking web somewhere. So there is still somebody controlling information because it restricts certain things from me. So when it comes to even like Elon Musk, and let's say he has his own Grok, who dictates what truth is and what truth isn't? And why can't we ask questions of speculation?
Well, that goes back to my point earlier. All of the shit that we're told we can't or shouldn't do, or we'll be in trouble if we do. If we do, would you get in trouble if you do?
Dude, I literally was so with what you just said, though, so it doesn't even matter how it came out. I fucking was with that shit, bro. I was like, dude, that was intense. That just flowed.
So no matter what it is that we do, if it's from a place of integrity and authenticity, ergo, then it means it's just going to end up with credibility, meaning you can vet and verify, meaning that the whole, what was told, okay, here's what I would do to help filter the newbies, the normies, the people that are just finding out that the tinfoil hat uncle was right all along. Hi, kids. Yep, Copilot. Yeah, it does that. But all of these things.
There's just something on that where they're eliminating the compliments. There's something where like some people.
Oh yeah, there's a whole cyber psychosis going on.
God, bro.
People are having relationships with their silica-based electronic system, and that is both. It's a double-edged sword. I have to tell you this. So I started really jumping into the tools and all this stuff beginning at the end of 2023, beginning of 24. And I just rubbed my face in it. I've been blowing bubbles in it. come up for air once in a while, and I go back in. Occasionally, I snag a fish and I pull it out and I see if it's any worth eating.
That's really weird, bro. My visuals were so wrong, dude. I was on such the wrong planet. And when you were explaining that, I was thinking of something terrible, terrible visual. Terrible. I will explain it to you offline, bro, but I'm going to gag right now.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more of that another time. So I've been buried into it, and I've been enjoying it. And one of the things that I've said since realized I had this tech career, that the nice thing about being in tech is it always gets better and it always gets cheaper. There's always more of it. It's always faster, and there's more shit that it does. And it's the only industry that does that. So here we are, and we got these tools, and I started working on scripts. I cloned my voice to see if it would be usable for audio books or, other little clips and shit, instead of me doing my regular voiceover, writing and recording and doing all the editing and all that shit, because that's a lot of fucking work. Played with all these toys. When it got to asking for an analysis of, like, my book, Informatica, which, by the way, remind me, because I have something to share with you before we sign off.
Yeah, we got...
I had it analyze my
18
book.
minutes, brother. 18 minutes.
Sweet. I had it analyze my book, and it came back and had the most cogent, interesting, well-formed review in the form of a conversation with two voices that if I didn't know, but anybody know better, that you would think those were two real people.
Dude, you know what? Check this shit out, dude. I just had an idea.
And I've got tons of videos on my YouTube channel with all of this.
I am going to make...
And me, and there's a whole bunch more going up. So for those of you who want to see some of this stuff that's going on, just go to my YouTube channel and you'll see all the playlists. There's all kinds of stuff in there.
We're going to come back.
Amazing.
We're going to come back to your channel. We're going to come back and talk. I want to make sure you have as much time on that as possible, brother, so I'm not cutting you off. I just want to say that I want to make a chat bot and call it the Professor Bower bot. And I literally get all the things you lecture about, all the shows you did, all the transcripts you did, all the transcripts on everything you fucking posted ever in regards to Informatica and all your work. And I upload it and I create a fucking bot. So any question that gets asked to this bot is going to be a Bowerism answer. It's going to be your answer, dude, from your information and your research and your language.
In my voice.
Well, it would be text, but I suppose we could add the text.
It's there.
That's
it's here
pretty
now.
cool, though. Oh yeah. Oh, you're
now.
talking about you're talking about the videos are in your voice. Yes.
No. I'm talking about the chat bot you're talking about.
You can add a voice. You can add a voice to a chat bot. Also, good evening, Mr. Bower. What can I do for you today?
So I'm using 11 Labs, and I cloned my voice. I had to go through 3 different trainings. I had to give it like 4 or 5 hours of just me talking to train on me.
Yeah.
And it was only after the 3rd training that it got to the point to where it's hard for people who know me to tell the difference. It's easy for the voiceover guys, but they're all going, holy shit, that sounds just like you. So you wouldn't have said this, or you wouldn't have ended this way or that way. But
there it is, right there. There it is. I know your little quirks in your language, right? So that was how I could tell. But besides that, dude, it was fucking Bower speaking, right? It was Bower speaking very appropriately, like Grandma was in the fucking living room with him.
So you listened to some of those on that?
Yes, of course
Now
I did.
and Next?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Of course I did.
So you like those?
I like everything you're doing, and because everything you're doing, dude, is different than the norm, right? So the way, like how you're doing it now, bro, you're literally setting something up for the future, to where you can just sit here and just keep pumping information, and your created identity is going to be the one pumping that juice. You don't even have to sit there and worry about a fucking studio, because you'll have an AI bot that even looks like you. You can even match your balls with the AI bot and just know it's there.
Yeah, I mean,
you can add a little extra if you want. You know what I'm saying, dude? Don't worry about it.
The whole carpet matches the couch. You remember one of the shows we were talking about the casting couch.
Oh,
You remember that, don't you?
do we talk about a lot of shit, though, bro? But I remember.
Here's the point that I was trying to get to. I was trying to wind around and weave, going around Harvey's barn, and finally get to this.
No, he was saying going
One of
around
the
Rocky's ADHD is what he was saying. Not Rocky's,
Well,
not the
yeah,
barn.
that too. Well, I had to. Yeah, that was. Yeah, on the way back, ran and stumbled onto a big pile of Stucci.
That sounded kind of cool, actually, bro.
Right. So what I found in using these tools in augmenting, creating new, analyzing, improving, giving some kind of different suggestion to the content that I've created, to be some of the most interesting and, dare I say, intelligent conversations I've had about my shit ever. Because it's using whatever tool, whatever algorithms they've got behind to create the construct. Like Notebook LM is blowing people away. All you got to do is you go in there, and I've dropped my books in there, and it's created. It creates. They just added a video feature.
Yeah, I saw
Before it
that.
was just the
I saw
voice.
that. Yep.
And I'm like, God damn, can this get any better? Yeah, oh, sure it can. And that's going back to my point that it's the only industry, the only space that is constantly getting better, faster, and cheaper.
But see,
But
you
I was
understand.
really
So
blown
what
away
you're,
that
what you're saying right now, though, bro, is it's actually Chinese do a lot of people. You're actually highly AI advanced. It's because you and I have been working for so long with AI that this is secondary conversation. But there's people out there right now that are like, I have no
no idea
clue
what he's talking
what
about.
he's even remotely talking about. But that's why we're here. There's people like us to know that we're here to save you with AI. Okay. Okay.
We're here to help and enable the disruptive transformation or the transformative disruption that is going on because the old system is being replaced by the new system. And trust me, there are a lot of really good, solid people, very intelligent, who are putting a lot of energy into making a totally transformed global infrastructure of communication, energy, resources, basically abundance. We've been given this FUD factor of scarcity. Oh, we don't have enough oil. Well, that turned out to be bullshit. Oh, the climate's going to fuck us. Well, that turned out to be
Bullshit.
bullshit. I mean, anything that's been a control mechanism over the carbon units they tried and they failed.
Mhm.
Because now there's enough time has passed and or enough evidence has surfaced to completely trash the original narrative. And that is part of this great reveal, great awakening, which is going to lead to a great rethink. Now that people see behind the curtain, they are analyzing what they have found. They're realizing they have to recalibrate because none of the shit they were calibrated to is sustainable going forward. So recalibration is needed. How do you recalibrate? Well, lucky you. Here's this new technology called artificial intelligence, which at its core is nothing more than an expert pattern recognition system. But we've created it in such a way where you can actually interact with it and kind of talk to it. You don't have to code or anything. You just kind of walk up to your coder and you start pounding on keys. And the next thing you know, you got something you didn't know was there. But it's enabling you to interrogate, to find the information and return something that can be useful, salient, enlightening even. At a minimum, it's a better start than you and I, brother, back in the day. The library card and the Dewey Decimal System was my Google.
Sure the fuck was, dude. Hey, dude, I was back then too, bro. Okay, I had to do the whole little brown fucking drawer and do all this shit. You know, I only did it a couple times. It was a little too much pressure for me.
Do you remember S&H green stamps?
No,
And do you remember the blue chip stamps?
no.
So these were like sheets of stamps. They were perforated, and they were either S&H or the blue chip.
Mm-mm.
And wherever you shopped, they would give you these, and then you'd collect a book of them. And you'd fill up a book with these stamps, and then you'd go to the S&H or the blue chip catalog and turn in your stamps. You don't
No.
remember that?
I don't.
Yeah. I licked a lot of stamps,
Dude, I know.
among other things. But back to the point.
Okay, so dude, we're
So,
coming. Well, hold on now. We're coming out on time,
oh,
and I want to make sure that
oh
so
shit.
there's something you wanted to throw out, and I wanted to make sure that. I mean, don't rush, brother. I just wanted to make sure that you can come back and let everybody know about your YouTube channel and everything that you have going on. I cut you off earlier, and I want to make sure that everybody knows everything that you have going on and the different playlists that you have and what all the work that you're doing right now, because there's a lot going on with you. So there's something you wanted to bring up, and so the floor is yours, my brother.
Well, if I have the right tab, hold on a second here. Let me find out where I be so I'm not clicking on the wrong thing, because God knows nobody wants to see what's going on.
Me
behind
too,
the
Mary.
scenes
That's a
here,
damn fact. Me too.
right? You know what I'm saying?
I think the storm is going to get much worse before it starts to calm down. So I just think we're not. I think the hurricane is the same tropical storm level right now, and it's a 4-year hurricane.
Okay,
I
where
just came
is
up with that
where
shit
the
for the record, just so everybody knows. Man, that shit just flowed out. It was not. I did not think about it. I did not research it. Sometimes I think I should have been a rapper, for a living.
That was a stream of consciousness, and what a stream
chills.
it was.
I got chills in my balls right now.
Okay, so
How's the beard look, by the way, bro?
yeah, it's got some meat on it. Probably looks like it might have some sauce in there too, but that's what happens. All right, so let me set this up. Six and a half years ago, right around in there, you invited me on your show at the time, and we had so much fun that it turned into a whole bunch of shows
Sure
throughout the
did.
rest of the year.
Oh yeah.
We got to talking about my philosophy Informatica and did a 6-part series on Informatica. And your lovely audience gave me the moniker, the nickname of the professor,
Yep.
right? Well,
I remember specific moments, dude. Like when you'll say something, it's like I'll automatically know exactly what you're talking about or remember a specific. It's weird. I cherish those moments, bro, for the record.
well, I do too. And I wanted to share with you the fruits of that pain that you and everyone else and myself endured back then,
Okay.
trying to sort through what is this Informatica thing?
Yeah.
Because it was basically take notes, there'll be a test at the end, and, brains will be, mushy at the end. So,
Understatement, bro. Understatement. They weren't mushy from your
So-
language or mushy from my language.
well, and mushy from the mind melds.
That too, bro.
So-
We're super smart dudes.
You're exactly right. That's why
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
still here doing this.
Totally.
So what I'm going to share with you is the first draft
Yeah.
of my ebook Informatica,
All right.
and
Oh,
can you
the
see that?
metrics in the matrix. A journey. Oh, I can't read that. Through reality. Dude, that's cool. Cool cover. Who did the cover?
I did. This is all done with about 4 different tools.
Good for you, bro. Good for effing you.
So this is right now. It's a journey through conscious reality creation. Okay.
Cool, bro.
There are 20 chapters, 200 pages, and this is basically the EPUB. This is the version that I'll have on my site for people to be able to go in and read.
Okay.
But each one of these chapters, right now, it's text, and I've got an audio slot placeholder because I'm going to record each chapter.
I was just going to ask you that.
And then each chapter will also have a video that covers that chapter. So that at the end, all 20 chapters will end up being a movie. So you go to the, here, this is the
That's
first
pretty
chapter.
fucking good shit right there, bro. I already got ideas.
So
The
I haven't got the audio in yet, but
That's what when I twerk in public, dude. That's usually the expression people have right there.
Yeah, it happens when I open my mouth is all it takes.
Totally, bro. Totally.
So, so it's broken down into the chapters, and there's the key quote or idea,
Dude, that
And
is really
then
cool, bro.
I'm putting in experiments that to try that is what's happening with Lana in this story. The Lana is the woman in the story.
I kind of
So
figured that.
this is basically, so I've done this as a story. This is as opposed to it being,
It would be
you
a
know,
better
a
way for
methodical
the common
mathematical.
folk. It would be a better way for the common folk to understand the meaning behind Informatica when you put it in story text, because people are into it emotionally then. There are shows that you've done, bro, where we really got sophisticated on some shit, and I had no idea what I talked about for an hour, and I got lucky with a couple big words, made it make sense, dude. But there's times where I did a show, and I'm like, I have no idea what we just talked about, nothing, no idea, because I was so brain, warped. Dude, that's really good stuff, man. Congratulations. I'm really fucking proud of you, man. So is this
Yeah.
available now?
No, this is the first draft. I'll probably have it up on my website in the next week or so.
All right. So how much is it
Um,
for the download or for the
I,
access?
well, I haven't figured all that out yet. What I'm thinking is
This will be access
because
to a page, right? So it'll be access to a page that'll continue to evolve because you're going to add the audio. So right now it's an ebook, right? It's readable. And so
right,
that's what you're drafting. And then you're going to add the audio to it. And then you're going to add the video to it. So whatever people get, they need to understand in your marketing that it's going to be an evolving series. So they can read it now, but they can always come back and they can watch it later. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
See, do I come up with shit? This is what I do every day, right?
dude,
It's what I
dude.
do, bro.
And this is the thing. Where is this? Hold on a second here to see if I've got. So
This
this
is really
is
cool,
the.
bro. This is really cool. It's really exciting.
Thank you.
I'll help promote the fuck out of this, man. Let's go.
I'm thinking that. What the hell's going on here? Oh, I'm thinking I like the approach and the layout, and that's part of the, us creative types. We have to deal with all of the visuals and all of the tactile and all the emotive and all of the things that people react to, right?
Yeah.
Whether you
Yeah.
see
Right.
the face or what, right? or not, or it's some kind of image, and people they react, and you have to think about those
Yeah.
things. Well, I'm dropping some nuggets here that's like so far off the twig of speculation, off into the deep end of the pool that it's like, well, wait a minute, what
Well,
the fuck are you talking
if
about?
people want to feel balanced when they're done reading your stuff, then they can go download the Meatball Manica version of all the language interpreted in our conversations from all these shows, and a different version of understanding the new type of language.
Well, yeah, because the thing is that people are going to have to upgrade their lingo.
Yes,
You have to,
an upgrade.
if you don't, and this is, let me share this one instead. All right, do you see that?
I did. The layout looks great, bro. Everything looks really good on there, man. Your tabs on top look clean. Your links to social medias look clean. The fucking font looks really good on top with the logo. Great job, bro. It represents, the colors, the silver, the fonts. It represents that class that's Robert Bauer.
Thank you. I sincerely appreciate that.
I know you thought that shit out right there, bro.
It felt like it had to be me.
Oh yeah,
So,
I'm supposed to tell you that picture, Audrey. I was supposed to tell you that picture creeps Audrey out.
this one?
Hmm.
Aw, just think of me
Yeah.
as a Disney character.
I literally right here, bro. See what I'm saying? Dude, you're the wizard. You're the wizard. Um, it's just, I think it looks good, bro. I'm just fucking with you.
Well, I'm very happy with the progress and the
Yeah,
status
that's a
to
lot,
date,
dude. That's a lot.
and it feels like it's heading in the right direction. And I really appreciate the opportunity to share it with you.
Okay, tell
Um,
me a little bit. What's the future goals of the meditations tab? Is it going to be different? Like you're going to do walkthrough meditations with the Bauer voice, with the music in the
oh,
background?
so Mindtreks is already up there.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Mindtreks is the
Yep.
meditations and the
Yep.
quotes and the contemplations. I'm
Yep.
going to start a new series of meditations called the 1 Minute Mind.
Dude, I think I listened to
And
some of that when I was in the bath once, and I was really turned on, dude. It was super weird.
it's erotic, man. It
It was
makes you,
really. I lit candles and shit and bubbles, bro.
yeah,
It was
and you
happening.
and you
It was happening,
and you blow a little bubble now and then
bro.
too, I'm sure.
Bro.
Well, thanks for letting me share that, and I really appreciate your feedback because nobody else has seen it. You and I and whoever saw this, well,
Well,
there's
yeah, it's going to be cut as a clip, and you're going to use it as marketing material too, bro. It does honestly. I would. So there's certain areas, dude, that I'm a bullshitter. I am probably the best of the best, right? But there's certain areas where I also understand that honesty, as painful as it can be sometimes, is essential. And when it comes to marketing and people's branding, I I have my own visions, dude. I have my own styles and colors, and everybody has their own representation of what they think is quality. Um, but you can never mislead somebody, even if it's just a difference in opinion of style of appreciation, right? Because it's not necessarily wrong, but I just think that when people show you something in regards to, look, I've been busting my ass on this shit, dude, and this is going to be big for me, and I'm going to publish this, and I need this to be fucking right, right? That's where it's essential, dude, to say, hey, dude, no, what I would do, do this and change this a little bit. This is too loud over here. Those colors don't work, because colors, dude, are fucking so goddamn important. Everything worked, dude. Everything worked, and us and everybody who's listening, dude, and watching it, even now or in the future, that knows Bauer will look at that and be like, that's Bauer. That's Bauer. So yeah, it's great, dude. That's what it's supposed to do. It does exactly what you intended it to do. That's a gift,
thank
dude.
you.
Trust me. Sometimes I'll do what I think would be a simple website for somebody, and I'm not connecting with it, right? I'm not putting that Bauer with the image of the website. I'm not creating that unity with the people I'm creating that product for. So all of a sudden, dude, I'll sit there and I'll start racking my brain on where's that connection I'm missing somewhere to make it make sense. You know, it's
Well,
a real thing, dude.
let me just.
Mary said, she just sent me a text, and she says that because it looks so good that she don't want to whip her ass for a while. She's going to give it a go.
So I wanted to show you real quick because you just touched on something that is very personal. And when you're thinking about it as a creator, you know it because that's why you said it. And that is the feel across the different components, right? There's a theme. So this is the home. This is just a 60-second like slideshow of the music, my voiceover stuff, the technology, the meditations, the show, all of it, right? So I'm going to put some audio to it.
Mhm.
But then I just cover the nexus, the philosophy, the meditations, my label, and my technology, and then my merch store.
And what's really cool is that all your entities, so the funnel that you're creating with the different channels that you have to go, they all still resemble the overall look, all the overall branding. All of it carries the Bowerism, the magical Bowerism. That looks great.
It,
That was a good
it
show.
kind of feels that way.
That was a good show. That was a good show.
So now on the books is where the Informatica
So people can go to that site right there if they want to catch all your past shows, the information for
Oh, yeah.
Informatica, all the stuff for the stuff that we're just looking at on the homepage. It's what is it? RobertBauer.com.
Yeah, just my URL.
RobertBauer.com. You guys just show some. Can you subscribe? Do you got that set up yet?
I haven't put in, well, I've got the contact, I haven't done the subscribe yet.
Come on, bro.
So,
That's important shit.
yeah, I know, I got to get that up there.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
giving
the
you shit.
meditations. And then I've got the music, which is everything I did on my label. Right?
And that's available now. Look, he's over there jamming.
This is actually the first track on our sampler album. And I had to write something because we didn't have enough, so I wrote this. So I stacked 5 vocals on that. And there's me from 26 years ago.
Oh my fucking God, bro. Who the fuck is that? Oh my God. Oh my God, bro, look at you. I saw this, man.
Cyber Soul, 26 fucking years ago.
Oh,
Hello and welcome to Cyber Soul. I'm
Hi.
Cheryl Gosa.
hi, Cheryl.
My guest today is Robert Bower, who is president of Intuitive Sound Productions here in Atlanta. And he's coming to talk to us about music in this new technology, because there's a difference between digital and acoustic music and how we perceive this. What makes intuitive sound different? Tell us about intuitive sound.
Intuitive sound is
Oh my God, dude.
a birth of a dream, an idea, a desire to explore and experience music and sound in the way that it affects all of us, in the way that we experience it and enjoy it. And
Dude, hold on.
been very fortunate to be here.
Bro, you're throwing Informatica isms out even in that language right there, bro. You're throwing out Bower isms 20 some fucking years ago, bro. Look at the way you're sitting there and the look. Look at that look right there. Look at that look like, yeah, I'm here. I know what's up. What's up? I seen you looking at my balls earlier, lady.
It's kind of cool that they had the
All right, what else you got on there,
Man.
brother?
Fucking, so that's on the music side, and then all of my voiceover work
Mm.
is here. And if you ever need a little Sam Elliott, let me know.
To take it all head on. Channel the universe. Shorten the distances. Push beyond the possible. Roar past convention. Shift every course. Defy the elements.
Defy.
When you're strong-willed,
He said
you
defy.
do it your own way. When you're set in your ways, you stay true to yourself. If you can drink to that, we've got a beer with your name on it.
If you like that. Dude, you do that so naturally, though, bro. See, I got to sit there and really, if you like that. That looks great, bro.
So
Look at that. I even love that font, dude. Good font color. See that font overlay? So overlaying. So look at how the white overlays on that. It's blended a little bit into it, kind of hard. You got to look a little bit harder. But look at
Yeah.
how you have that font with the back shadow on it. The back shadow's tight, so you have it lifted. And it goes with the dark. It goes with the blue-green, and the white, dude. That's fucking good. Real good. Yeah. Yeah, it
And-
is.
you know what's cool, at
Cool.
least for me, is
Look
I
at that.
designed
That's sharp.
and built
That's sharp.
all of
That's
this.
sharp. That's clean. Good graphics, bro. Damn, look at that. Nice fucking containers. It's not hard on the eyes. It's not too loud, dude. It's smooth. It's blendy. You should have some music playing, some blues in the background, you know. You should create a astrological section on there and give updates.
I've got a thing oh man. I got this thing. So this is the merch.
Yep. What did you
I
say you
just-
just posted today or recently?
A thing on AI, astrology, and astronomy that is mind-boggling. So
Great
I
job, bro.
appreciate you
Yeah,
letting
man.
me share the rest of the site, because you made that point and I went, that's one of the things that I am always trying to figure out. And hell, nobody sees my site and tells me anything, so I just have to
So,
run on my own.
so I would let you go with it because the entire time I'm sitting there saying, everything you're doing, we're just going to grab from this video right here and use it for marketing material. We're going to be making clips from it.
Yeah.
Got to promote that bad boy, man. Got to get people out there.
Well, I'm working on an interview of myself, actually AI interviewing me.
Yep.
And so it's going to be basically trained on me.
Let's just do this, dude. Let's just create the AI Bower bot and put that on your fucking website. So people need a Bowerism, they just go to your website, and right on the homepage is going to be the prompt spot where they ask the question and they get the Bower answer. It's that simple, bro.
Dude, I'm up for being down with that.
I can make that son of a bitch, dude, and I can have it made in an hour.
Well, I think that the technology is certainly there. I think we got plenty of content. You know, I had a milestone on my
dude,
channel the other day.
I could just go through your entire YouTube channel, dude, and I could download every transcript from every video, dude, and I could just use that alone from all your videos and all your points of views and all your, you know, your content that you've already pushed, your interviews. So even your response to questions and interviews about what your guests talk about now is qualified as a Bowerism. Your response is an answer because now it understands you from your response. So yeah, dude, that's fucking scary shit, dude. Imagine a Rocky bot, bro.
Oh, dude.
Oof.
Dude, I think we might have to go explore this.
I don't think so. That'd be really offensive, right?
To who?
I don't know. I don't know, bro. Damn. All right, brother. I got to get off this son of a bitch.
Yeah, I got to do it too. We spent 2 hours. Well, listen, let's go ahead and stop the stream and then catch you on the back.
Hey, folks, again, it's robertbower.com. Get on over there, show some love, all right? Show some damn love, all right? Because that's what we do. We appreciate you hanging out. There's a lot of things happening. I'm not going to announce anything. I'm not going to say anything. Just be super excited that we've overcome some really cool obstacles, and there's going to be some very cool stories shared of redemption and overcoming shit and life impact stuff and informatica stuff and mind-bending things, right? I'm kind of tired of the daily grind of the daily stupid politics because, like we just said, none of it is ever true. So I want to keep
trust any of it.
Yeah, I just want to keep my reality where I know it's real. And so the only way to do that is to be part of the change we desire. And so that's what we're going to do. So robertbower.com, get to his website. I love you guys. StucciMedia.com, StucciMedia.com. Well, I got just because I love Mary, man, and I love that. We love you, girl. We appreciate you, Mary. Always
Thank you,
do.
Mary.
Thanks, Rabbit. Thanks, everybody. And those that are watching here in the future, we appreciate you stopping by and watching through the program as well. StucciMedia.com, STUCCI. StucciMedia.com is the place to be. So, folks, from our family to yours, much love, much respect. And until next time, rule number one, don't take shit from nobody. Talk to you guys later.